What's happening, people?
What's popping? Brand new whip just hopped in.
I got options.
Do you though? Do you really though?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Check
I do.
Check the number.
Carson Wentz is in Washington and Matt Ryan is in Indianapolis, ladies and gentlemen.
Honestly,
Matt Ryan's a Colt.
that's exactly what we wanted.
Is that exactly what we wanted?
No. I mean, it just really depends. I think they should have just went for the rookie, but whatevs.
Well, their team is ready to win now. So what's up, everybody in the chat? High Dollar Trippy Jason. Howdy from Tennessee. What's up, my guy? You a Titans fan? That's awesome if you are. What's up, Tim? We sent you a message over there on Patreon. What's up, JJ? What's up, Trippy? Let's talk about this Matt Ryan news, okay? I know that Matt Ryan has gone to a Super Bowl before, and I know that he was an MVP at some point in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If I look at this just from a football perspective, and I don't consider fantasy or dynasty, I am not sure that this really moves the needle as much as mainstream media is claiming it does. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. But everyone that I've heard, Rich, Pat's going to be biased, ESPN, NFL Network, everyone is saying that this is a massive win. And I know Carson Wentz wasn't the answer, but all I'm saying is I'm not sure that Matt Ryan now takes the Colts over the top to go to a Super Bowl. And, you know, we looked at AFC teams last week on the stream. You know, there's only 7 spots for the playoffs. You got the Chiefs, Bengals, Browns, Patriots, Raiders, Bills, Broncos, Chargers, Ravens, Titans, Dolphins maybe, Steelers. So that's 12 teams that the Colts are going to have to compete with to get into the playoffs. I don't know, man. I'm just very interested to hear the community's thoughts. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts, comment what you think. But for me, I'm not so sold that this is a huge upgrade like everyone is saying. I think it's an upgrade for the next couple of years. But if we're looking statistically, this is a downgrade. If you look statistically last year, Carson Wentz was a way more efficient passer. And he threw less, I think 5 less interceptions. So I would love to hear from people. I think Matt Ryan is the better quarterback for this team right now. But do you think, Badaki, am I completely misreading this?
I'm on both sides now because when we were having the conversation earlier, I was like, I agree. Now it's more like Matt Ryan is, in my opinion, well, I can't say he is. Matt Ryan has been a more consistent quarterback than Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz won a Super Bowl. I think that was maybe the luck of the draw.
Well,
maybe everything kind of,
but yeah,
it was kind of all in kind of fell in the right things for him because he was doing well in that moment before he got hurt. I think Matt Ryan helps them, at least takes them to the playoffs. That's my thought process, and I think that. Can they win a playoff game? I don't know. I think this team is still missing something else. I still think they're missing that wide receiver too, that guy that can come in and help Michael Pittman. Then they have one of, and in reality, they don't have the best pass offensive line. I was doing this whole thing on Michael Pittman. I was going to record. We recorded biggest winners and losers.
Yeah,
and we were prepared the night before, always, every time. And my thing was going to go straight into Michael Pittman, how he was the biggest loser. Like he lost Carson Wentz. What's going to happen with Michael Pittman? He's going to go with the young quarterback now. It's going to take time for him to get this rhythm. Can this quarterback even be better than Carson Wentz? We don't know who's going to be the quarterback. Is it going to be a free agent quarterback? Now, for me, what's really missing is an offensive line that can help them pass the ball because they were actually 30th in pass protection. This offensive line, they were first in the run.
Exactly. They were a great rushing offensive line, but it sounds weird, but they were a terrible pass offensive line. The Colts were,
and that's not
one of the worst
best for Matt Ryan because he used to. Well, there was,
and that's not like an opinion. That is just statistics.
Yeah, that's actual fact. So I'm in both areas where I do see Matt Ryan being successful
Right.
for the Colts and helping them and projecting them there. I just think they need more weapons. It can't just be Michael Pittman and Jonathan Taylor. It has to be one other guy that can help.
One
That
thing
that can help. Yeah,
One
that can
thing that
help.
we talked about is this is great for Michael Pittman. I mean, you've got a quarterback who has made a lot of wide receivers very fantasy relevant, multiple top 10, top 5 receivers in Ridley and Julio. And even before that, if we want to go all the way back to fucking Roddy White, right? I mean, so Matt Ryan I think he is better for this team. But again,
Hmm.
I'm not where the mainstream media is making this like, oh my
Yeah,
God, this is like the biggest win. Wow. I'm like,
and
it's
the other thing
good,
is,
but I don't know, man. I don't know.
yeah, like Alan even said, I see Julio going to the Colts. If
I
they
could see that.
re-sign Julio, and I see that call happening, I already know Matt Ryan, probably Julio are texting like,
Is
"Yo,
that
what are you
good
thinking?
though?
Is that good for Michael Pittman, or is that good in general?"
You mean
Because
for the 6
the
games that Julio will play? Yeah, that might hurt Michael Pittman.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if he does stay healthy, because he was missing a lot of games, I don't know. There's so many different scenarios that can happen.
Yeah.
I do believe they still either mock drafts that I've seen, they go wide receiver or offensive lineman or back, or they flip flop.
Yeah.
Who's
Well,
going
they
in the
don't
second?
have
They
their
have
first. So,
no, but they do have an early second, like a top 15 second, if I'm not mistaken. So they can get a weapon there that can take away from Michael Pittman. That's another question. Matt Ryan is known to share the ball around. He's did it with Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley.
yeah.
Like I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
he's also been
So
known
many
to hyper
options.
target someone, but
Exactly.
I think this is good for Pittman. And the other good thing is there's no free agents that I see right now who would heavily hurt his value, and they don't have a first round pick, so there's no elite wide receiver talent coming in this year. Maybe in the second round if someone falls, but I think this is very, very good for Michael Pittman. Pittman is a winner today. I'm just saying the Colts, their future, like, is this team a top 8 team in the AFC? I'm just asking the questions that maybe none of the mainstream media is talking about. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. And we're gonna find out. That's the best thing about NFL. We're always gonna find out. But I definitely like this move for the Colts. Again, I'm just not thinking, oh, it's Super Bowl, here we come for Indy.
Yeah, everyone has a lot of thoughts here, and you love to see it.
Yeah, I love all the thoughts. So everyone in the chat, shout out to you guys. Our Lord and Savior's here. Jason Kindle's
Amen.
here.
Wow, what a blessing.
Gator's here. Hi, Dalla. Alan's
$5
here. It's
What's
going to be a
happening,
fun day. Hey, guys, we have 25 likes already. You guys are amazing. We have a like goal of 100 likes.
You like that? You like that?
So if you haven't dropped one, show us some love. And let's try and hit that like goal together of 100 likes. And if we do so, I will either shave my beard or bet $10 on Carson Wentz as an MVP. So we'll have to wait and see. This is going to be fun. We are doing a Dynasty rookie only draft. Again, we just finished talking about Matt Ryan, and there is so many things to talk about. Maybe we'll make some content over the next couple weeks about this move. Shout out to Jason. Tim's here. Kevin, what it do?
What's happening, y'all?
What it
So
do? Okay, guys. So we are doing a rookie only draft. Shout out to Gremlin. Again, people have said before. We have said before, if you guys haven't been able to get into a mock, message us about 15 minutes before the mock starts. Again, we're not going to do this every time because we want everyone to have a fair chance. But if you haven't been able to get into a mock, message us 15 minutes beforehand, and we will hook you up and make sure that everyone gets a shot. We've always done that for people who have messaged us. Now, if you get in every time, like if Garrett was to message us and be like, "Hey, can I get into Garrett? Come on, man.
Hell no.
You already got the hacks to get into these mocks.
Hell no, bro.
But we always want to make sure everyone gets a chance. So, step 1, join our Discord. How does that process work, Badaki, to get in tonight's mock?
Yeah, super simple, super easy. I like to say it's pinned in the comment chat above or down below in the description. Solo.to/Fantasyland Football. Click on there, join our Discord, and we have a Dynasty Damn It channel and then the text channel within it called Dynasty Mock Drafts. That's where we post all our mock drafts, and we have a crazy, amazing community. I think over 350 now. people in this Discord. It's really fun. Come through. There's so much more that we do than Discord than just mock drafts. The community's there. We do polls. You can do suggesting content creation. Anything, we want us to grade your dynasty team, or the community to grade your dynasty team, or have an opportunity for us to grade your dynasty team as a video. There's an option there as well. Once again, solo.tl/fantasylandfootball, or pin in the chat above.
Yeah. What's up, Michael? Yeah. Zach Harris says the 106 or random 23 first. I would take a shot on wherever that 23 first goes. Ronnie says, I got Deshaun Watson at the 401 in my startup on Saturday. How do you feel? How are you feeling about it? I feel like that's a massive steal.
100%.
We actually just recorded a video where we talked about, is he a top 5 pick? That will be out soon. And Badaki and I have a little bit of a different stance there. But the 401 is just robbery at that point. We, in one of our follower leagues, he just went for, it was Deshaun Watson. He went for 2023 firsts. Tua
and
Russell Gage. So that's great value. Jay Stump says, all these quarterback moves are telling me that the league is not high on the quarterbacks coming out this year's class.
Agreed. I agree. 100% agree. There's, yeah.
High Dollar says, congrats on hitting 1K this month. It's coming. Well, we'll see. It's 941.
Yeah, we're excited about it. Yeah. So
942. Someone subscribed probably on this live stream. Shout out to you guys. Guys, huge love for all the love, all the likes. If you haven't dropped a like, we do have a like goal of 100 likes.
You like that?
Currently
You like that?
at 37, so every like counts. Thank you so much for your support. But Aki, should we send the link out here? Should we get this thing popping?
100%. Top 5. Yeah, let me do this. Once again, Dynasty, damn it. Then you go to Dynasty mock drafts, and that link for the mock drafts will be put there. Obviously, you can see, like Zach said already, message us 15 minutes before, and we can get you in. You see Gremlin, he said, yo, can I get in the mock draft? We say, yeah, for sure. Done. All right, I'm typing.
All right, but Aki's about to send the link over there on Discord, guys. Again, join the Discord if you want to be a part of these mocks. And here comes the link here soon.
Here we go. 3, 2. It's set.
All right, as he sends that link, you're going to see people join. Raver says, hey, guys, I'm on the clock in a 14-team startup right now. Should I select the rookie 105, Pittman, McLaurin, Judy, Kamara, or D. Cook? I am a big Pittman lover, so I would say Pittman. I don't know what Badaki would say.
Then I need to read it. Hey, guys, I'm on the clock, 14-team startup now. Should I select the rookie 105, Pittman, McLaurin, Judy?
The 105 is intriguing. I feel like Matt Ryan has made me feel a lot better about Michael Pittman, though.
I would be a toss up between Pittman and Judy.
Right.
I think that's hard. I will go wide receiver though. I think Judy in the long haul you can sell easily if something doesn't work out because he's still with Russell Wilson there.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit more secure in my opinion. Could be wrong though.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think between Judy, Pittman, and the 105, they're all great options. The 105, you take a risk because you don't know what they would be just yet. So for me, I'm going Pittman, but I think Judy isn't the wrong answer either. All right, guys. Huge love, everybody, for getting in the mock. Patrick says, how do we get in? So for anyone who's watching and wasn't able to get in, you join our Discord. The link is in the comments. It's pinned to join our Discord. That's where we send those links to join the mock drafts. Ramondre Stevenson and Kirk for the 205 and 302. I would just prefer to keep Ramondre Stevenson and Kirk, to be honest. Although I do not want Lenny Fournette to sign in New England.
I really hope that does not happen.
That would be disgusting for Dynasty.
Yeah.
Jacob says, I just traded Austin Eckler and Mike Williams for the 102 in this year's and the 202 and a 23 first. Wow. I'm okay with that if you're a rebuilding team for sure. That's great value.
Agreed.
All right. Appreciate everybody. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this. So this is a Dynasty rookie only draft. Is Sleeper going to go weird if I do this? Okay. Looks like it's okay. So this is a Dynasty rookie draft. Okay. This is PPR. It is not tied in premium. You can select whatever position you want. We always preface these mocks by saying this. There are things that I am going to say here that you disagree with. There are things that Badaki is going to say here that you're going to disagree with. And that's okay. We actually welcome differences of opinion here on the channel. Dynasty is not black and white. there is reasons that you can justify different moves. So as the picks happen, we are going to comment on them. We'll pause the mock at different points and just give our opinion. But are you going for positional value? Are you going for best player on the board? Are you going because of running back scarcity? I think you can make a case for these players. It is SuperFlex. So just so you're aware, there will be things that we disagree on. That's okay. We actually welcome the difference of opinion. But Aki, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel good? I don't know what I'm trying to say. I guess I'm trying to stall so I can text something in the chat.
Nah, I definitely feel good. It's going to be interesting to see what this mock draft will look like moving forward. There's so many people, like, not saying Breece Hall shouldn't be the 101, but like it questions, is he going to be in the committee now? And I think Zach and I had that conversation before the live and throughout the week and the weekend. It was like, is Breece Hall the 101 now? I don't know. Like the thought process was that he's going to go to a backfield where he's going to get all the workload. Maybe is more of you got to take him high and just hope maybe in a year or two that he will be that workhorse. It's very interesting. There's still a couple teams that he can go to, but it's still very, very interesting.
Raymond's asking to make the screen bigger. We can't, my guy. I mean, you're going to have to ask Sleeper if they can figure something out. I mean, if we make it any bigger, then you're not going to be able to see the picks on the different sides. So, these picks, this is as big as Sleeper will allow it to get. But let's go ahead and get this thing started. 2 minutes on the clock. Take as much time as you want. We will pause at certain points.
I'll try to catch up with the chat and catch up with the chat a little bit. Steve, Jamar Chase for the 112.
It was Breece Hall. Just straight away. No,
that's fine, and it's a good conversation.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, then that's worth having conversation. I just want to just address the chat really fast before we go to these big conversations. Jamar Chase for the 112, 203, and CeeDee Lamb.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I'm keeping Jamar Chase. Benjamin, 103 for DJ Moore. I would definitely take the 103 personally. I'm not a DJ Moore believer. Zach could potentially see that differently. Oliver, Sutton, Kirk, 2023 first, or Elijah Mitchell in a 2023 111, Rondell Moore.
All right, let's talk about these three picks. Just finish. Give your thoughts there, and then we'll talk about these picks. I don't want to dismiss the mock draft that's happening.
No, that's fine. I don't think we will. I think I will keep the Mitchell side.
All right, Breece Hall at the 1-1. I still think that he's the 1-1 personally. I've had a conversation with one of my friends recently, Tommy, your boy Bricks. We were talking about Breece at the 1-1. And I said, well, yeah, he might land in a committee, but that doesn't mean that we devalue him because of that. Because it's rare that someone lands in a perfect spot like Najee Harris, right? I mean, Javonte Williams, more valuable this year than he was last year, even though he landed in a committee. So situations can change for these running backs. So for me, he is the best prospect in the draft. So I would still take him at the 1-1. Then I definitely think you can take Malik Willis at the 1-2. If you're a Malik Willis guy, SuperFlex league. The upside is there. What he can do in the air and on the ground. I think we're going to see maybe Malik to Atlanta. I mean, that's something that feels like to me you can ride in with a pencil. Might not happen. They might go offensive weapon. But I think it's definitely a possibility with them moving on from Matt Ryan and also having Marcus Mariota there is almost like a very good mentor for a mobile quarterback in Malik Willis. Then we have Garrett Wilson and Jameson Williams off the board at the 1-4, Badaki. I'm okay with that. I know you're probably not, but I'm okay with Jameson Williams at 1-4.
Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely would have taken Treylon Burks there, which makes my decision a lot easier. I'm taking Treylon Burks. I love Garrett Wilson at the 1-3. He's my wide receiver 1 in these Dynasty amongst the rookie wide receivers, Jameson Williams.
Yep.
A guy that, maybe I'm not taking within the top 5. I can definitely argue maybe 6 right here if maybe Drake London went off the board where Jameson went, and then I'll take Jameson where Sean will be taking him. But that's just my thought process. I wouldn't take him that high.
I'm comfortable with Jameson Williams there. For me, I've said this before, but I do think he's my favorite wide receiver in the draft. I think he has the most explosive upside. of anyone in the draft, and I'm not gonna like stray away from him because he's probably gonna miss 2 months. Let's think about his entire career, not just those 2 months. So I'd be happy to take him there. But most people are gonna say that's a little bit too early. Then Drake London goes off the board at the 1-6 Badaki, which typically he's going off the board a little bit earlier. And here I am, and I've said this before. I think there's only two running backs I would give first round draft capital to in these rookie drafts. Brees, obviously, and then I would say Kenneth Walker is the other running back that I say that I believe that you could spend a first round pick on. I don't think anyone else is worth a first round pick in these drafts. I think the only reason Kenneth Walker is falling now is because of how little spots there are that makes sense for landing spots for these running backs. But I'm still comfortable to take him here at the 1-7. There are about 3 players that I love taking here, and they're all available. But I'm going to go Kenneth Walker, and they're all in a similar tier. So maybe if I had a team need, it would move the needle for me if I could see the rest of my team. But I'm going to go Kenneth Walker there. By the way, guys, thank you so much for watching. We have 74 viewers right now, 45 likes. We have a like goal of 100 likes. So
You like that?
if you drop a like, you could potentially help us reach that goal. That would be huge love. I'm going to go ahead and draft Kenneth Walker here at the 1-7.
The thought process with these running backs now, where it feels like none of these running backs are going to have a good landing spot. Now I feel like there are, which is weird because we said this early on the stream, which now I'm thinking about it, with all these teams making moves for all these quarterbacks and re-signing, it makes me believe that at least the first 2 quarterbacks, maybe first 3 quarterbacks that are going off the board are going to have an opportunity to play.
Right.
Malik, Kenny Pickett, and whoever that quarterback 3 is, that's going to go off the board, whether it's Corral, Sam Howell, or Desmond Ritter. It just really depends. But I would exactly I think I would take Pickett over Kenneth Walker right there, and because of the based on what free agency's been like, what's been happening in free agency, so
okay. Yeah, so Kenny Pickett lands in Carolina. Is that good for his career?
I think it will be good. A young team,
fair enough.
A young team with Kyle Pitts, Do you not think that?
I think there's as much risk taking a quarterback than there is a running back, or Kenneth Walker specifically. Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker. I think there's as much risk taking one of these quarterbacks than there is a running back. Yeah, there might be less spots with the running backs, but to me, there's no quarterback in this class that I can point to that I know for sure is going to be successful in the NFL. I feel like Kenneth Walker will be successful. So,
All right. Well, I guess I'm the opposite. I feel like I think Kenny Pickett has a more chance of being successful than Kenneth Walker, but
okay,
that's just my
agree
opinion.
to disagree. Especially if he lands in Carolina, I don't love that spot for him with that offensive line, and Carolina hasn't really shown that they can help a young quarterback grow. I mean, look at Sam Darnold last year. But anyway, I don't think it's wrong to take a quarterback or a running back there at the 1.7. I'm very much open-minded. I don't think Kenny Pickett is the only answer, but I think that he could be the answer as well. Then we see Olave, Pickens, and Watson off the board. Watson gets into the first round, Badaki.
Yeah, I mean, very, very interesting. Obviously, a guy that I like moving forward. I see opportunity coming for him in the early second round. Christian Watson can land on one of these teams, whether Atlanta, the Colts, whatever the case may be. It's going to be very interesting to see where he goes. But I like Watson.
Is Watson a first round pick though in rookie drafts?
No, it's not. It's not a first round pick. It just really depends on. I see
think there's quite a few players I would have drafted over Christian Watson at this point.
I definitely agree. It just really depends on how you view him and where they go. I think this could be a very likely scenario of where these guys are going, depending on their landing spot.
Right. And how about you? How about Olave and Pickens there? How do you feel about those 2 picks?
Oh, great picks. I love Olave. My wide receiver 2 in this draft, and then George Pickens is a top 5 for me. So I think one of these 2 guys could be in talks of being in the top 6, honestly.
Yeah,
Just
for
really
sure.
depends on where they land.
If Olave and Pickens land in great spots, I mean, one of these guys are potentially primed to land in Green Bay. So if Olave and Pickens land in Green Bay, potentially, you know, that's something that we've heard that could happen. Then, let me go ahead and pause this and change this to linear. But if that does happen, that would be pretty massive for those wide receivers, and their ADP would get much, much higher.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Tribune on the board here. See where he goes.
We'll try and catch up with the chat now that Trippy's gonna make his pick. Brees Hall to the Bucks. That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah, wide receiver is going to depend on landing spot. Will definitely be interesting. Thoughts on Matt Corral? I like Matt Corral. He's interesting. He's an interesting prospect. I have said this multiple times on the channel, but I'm not so certain that his play style is going to translate in the NFL because I don't think like the speed is just very, very different in the NFL. You know, he could be a mobile quarterback in college in the SEC. But what about when you come to the NFL and it's that NFL speed? Those linebackers are as fast as some of those cornerbacks in the SEC. So I'm not so certain that his play style will translate, but I could be wrong on that. He definitely worries me more than Malik and Kenny. But between Hal and Corral, I think you can make a choice of whoever your poison is there.
Yeah, agreed.
Will we run another mock? We will run another mock tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. We're doing a Dynasty startup, and then there's a rookie draft after that the next day. So we try and do at least 4 mock drafts a week with the community.
Sky Moore, a guy that you are absolutely in love with.
Yep.
You would have taken him over Christian Watson. I know that for sure. I don't know if you would have taken him in the first, but I know you would have taken him over Christian Watson. Would you take him in the first just in general?
Sky Moore? No, I don't think so. If he ends up being a first-round pick in the NFL draft, then yeah, I could consider it because I do see him as a potential first-round pick in the NFL draft. But for me, really, it's those 6 wide receivers I want to consider in the first round: Wilson, Williams, Burks, London, Olave, Pickens. Is that 6? Yeah, those are kind of the 6 guys I'm considering in the first. And then ideally, you know, if there's a quarterback on the board or one of these running backs, Kenneth or Brees. So I do view Sky and Jahan both as second-round guys, but both players who could move into the first round of these mocks if draft capital is correct.
Yeah, for sure.
Jahan Dotson at the 2-2. I love me some Jahan Dotson. Reminds me a little bit of Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett. That's the kind of player I can see him becoming. And then Isaiah Spiller at the 2-3. Again,
yeah,
we're not high on Isaiah Spiller, but at this point, you can take a shot on him if you believe in him.
Yeah, man, Isaiah Spiller, interesting prospect.
Yeah.
Watch him be the most successful. Watch him land in the best spot possible compared to all these other guys or something.
Yeah, he lands in like Tampa Bay or something.
Yeah, he'll have like the best landing spot. And we're like, well, we were just shitting on him the whole offseason, basically saying that we don't like him. But then he has the best opportunity.
Patrick says, would you trade DK for the 101? I think that depends on where your team is. If you have plenty of wide receiver depth and you have a bunch of studs at wide receiver, I would consider that, and then I would probably grab Brees Hall. But if I'm struggling at wide receiver, I personally don't think there's a wide receiver in this draft that is as good as DK is. I would stick with DK. So I think that's a little bit difficult because it depends on what your team is looking for. Sleeping on Jahan, he's a stud, best hands in the draft. I mean, I just compared him to Deontay Johnson and Tyler Lockett. We love him. We love Jahan Dotson. Definitely love him. Okay, Zamir White at the 2-4.
Right. Okay, that's interesting.
That feels too early to me. Quite too early. There's still wide receivers I would take over him. There's definitely quarterback I would take over him. Does that not feel too early to you?
No, Zamir White definitely feels early.
Hey. Thank you for the sub, bro. Appreciate that. Means a lot.
No, it's definitely a bit early. Now I'm just on the board now. I'm just thinking where I should go. Man, because I wasn't expecting.
What were you not expecting?
I just wasn't expecting at least these quarterbacks to be available personally.
Mm,
Like it's a super. I had to take that in consideration. A SuperFlex league.
yeah.
You know, do I go a quarterback and hopefully one of these guys will do something, or do I just go based off maybe my team
For me,
need or
there's a clear
talent?
tier here. There's a clear difference in tier here that I would go, but I'm curious to see what you do.
No, for sure. Let me just look at my wide receiver rankings at the moment.
Dad says, speaking of DK, would you trade Higgins, the 112 Josh Palmer, for DK plus a 23 firsts? And owner wants my Higgins for the stack. No. I think Higgins is in a much better position right now. So I would be hesitant to move Higgins at this point.
I'm gonna go tight end. I'm going to trade McBride.
All right, McBride at the 2-5. I think you can take a shot on McBride there. I definitely have McBride and these quarterbacks in a different tier than Zamir and Isaiah Spiller. All right, so then Desmond Ridder goes off the board. And for me, if I'm at the 2-7, this is my ideal scenario. Again, running back scarcity. I only see Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. Breece Hall in particular, guaranteed as a workhorse type running back. Kenneth Walker has that upside, in my opinion. And I would this is a dream scenario. I didn't go Pickett at the 1-7. Now Corral is here at the 2-7. I think Corral and Pickett have just as much of a shot as each other of being successful in the NFL. So I'm very, very comfortable doing that. And again, I just think it speaks to the running back scarcity, why it would be worth going Kenneth Walker at the 1-7. Again, just my opinion. But outside of those guys, there's not a running back that I really feel like is going to be a workhorse in the NFL. So I'm going to go Matt Corral here. It feels like really, really good value. I know a lot of you guys are pretty high on Zamir White as well. So I'll just address that. I'm not anti-Zamir White but I am anti-Zamir White at the 2-4. Okay? Zamir White, to me, feels like someone I would take a shot on in the third round. I'm not going to take a shot on him any earlier than that. I mean, we're already talking about how difficult it's going to be for Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall to land into good spots, right? Zamir White is going to be drafted much, much later than those guys, and who knows what his running back, situation looks like.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take Corral here. Do you agree with that assessment on
No,
Zamir White?
I definitely agree, and I think that's why I'm hesitant on taking one of these running backs, especially. I mean, there's a guy that I would have taken there, but now with the whole running back landscape, I definitely have to reconsider that. And we're all talking based off what's happening in free agency and not what's actually going to happen in the NFL draft. We're just going off of what we know right now. And, like Zach said, if we're talking about Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker, the 1-2 punch, these two guys that we feel will are the most talented and could have the most success, but be in a running back by committee, what makes you think these guys are going to have a better opportunity? Like the round 2 guys, the round 3 guys.
Yeah.
So maybe it's worth waiting on running backs, maybe until the third, and then take your shots on your guys there, because I think that's what's going to happen. Things going to be wide receiver heavy. You're going to get your tight end like a McBride. There's still a lot of talent and wide receivers that are out there, and then potentially running backs could go at the late second. Like now, I would take a chance on. Well, there's still 1-2 people I would take a chance on that are not a running back.
Yeah.
But then I would take a chance on a Spiller, a Zamir White, a Rashad White right now, because that feels comfortable.
Yeah.
Just really depends.
I do have McBride and the 2 quarterbacks, Ridder and Corral, in a tier above these running backs that went off the board here at the 2-3 and the 2-4, as well as the 2-8. So I would tend to agree with you. If you're gonna do running back, if you want a running back in the second round, maybe if you have an early second, you should trade back. Because I hate to say it, but in my opinion, Isaiah Spiller has just much of a chance as Rashad White to be successful in the NFL. I don't think Isaiah Spiller has, a big up on Rashad White as a prospect. So David Bell at the 2-9, though, that is ridiculous. That is fantastic value. I also have David Bell as a wide receiver that's in a tier above these running backs that went off the board, Badaki.
Yeah, and it makes sense. As bad as of a combine he had, he's still going to be talented. He's still going to be a guy
the film still speaks.
Yeah, he's still going to be a guy that can get the workload. He can be a workhorse there, in my personal opinion. I compared him to Allen Robinson. I think he has that. I mean, he had Allen Robinson speed, and I think he can
Yeah.
do Allen Robinson things. So
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Why not take him here? I think it's a steal at the 2.9, in my opinion.
Yeah. Rashad White, Jason Kindle says Rashad White can be a 3-down back if he adds 10 pounds of muscle. He's also going to need to change his running style if he wants to be that, because right now he runs way too upright, and that's not going to work in the trenches in the NFL. All right, Justin Ross and then Alec Pierce off the board. Justin at the 210, Alec Pierce at the 211. I really love Alec Pierce. Really, really love Alec Pierce. I think that's great value there at the 211. I think he had a very, very good combine. The speed was surprising, and he's got fantastic hands. So I think that's a big win there at the 211.
Yeah, agreed. For me, Justin Ross is not a guy that I'm necessarily in love with. The back injury, and I understand he was in Tennessee and he was with T and everything was happening there. I'm just not sold on a guy like Justin Ross. I wouldn't take him in the second, in my opinion. But Alec Pierce, I think he could come into this point where he goes, mid to late second, and he could be a surprise guy where he goes to a landing spot that is favorable to him.
Yeah.
That he could come.
I could see him as a
spot.
second round draft pick in the NFL draft.
Yeah, a second round draft pick, a wide receiver 2 somewhere. Like that would be amazing.
I would
like
tend
Alec
to
Pierce.
agree there. I do love Justin Ross, but I do have Alec Pierce one spot ahead of him. So I would prefer Alec. There's actually one more wide receiver I have ahead of Justin Ross on the board, but the talent isn't the question. The question is, can he be the same player after the spine injury? So we'll have to, because he didn't look like the same player last year, but there's still potential. By the way, guys, we have 68 people watching and 54 likes. Huge love.
You like that? You like that?
If you haven't done so yet, it would mean a ton if you could drop a like. Help us get to that like goal of 100 likes on the stream. And if we get there, I will do whatever the chat is voting on, which right now they want me to shave my beard. So if we hit the 100 likes, I will shave my beard. Brian Robinson at the 212, Badaki. There is still a running back that you and I love on the board, and I don't want to talk too much about it because maybe he falls to you, but I'm surprised he's still on the board.
Yeah, and we'll talk about him when it comes to the point, because I think this is crucial now. This is how this feels. It's maybe not realistic, but it feels like wide receivers, quarterbacks are going to go in the first and second. People are going to be stretching these guys. I think there is two other people that could sneak into the second over some of these running backs. Like a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson. I think you can argue taking him over Brian Robinson or Rashad White, even in our eyes, potentially Isaiah Spiller. But it just really depends on how you rank him and where these guys land. Once again, this is all hypothetical. We don't know where these guys are going to go. So we're just going based off talent. But
hey, Mitchell, he had a question. He says, if I have Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison and I'm looking to trade them, what sort of capital do you think is realistic to look for? So if we're talking about just draft capital, I think you should definitely be looking for an early first. Yes, he's on his second contract, but I still think he has 2 to 3 years of top 10 running back upside. So a win now team is who I would target to move Dalvin Cook for, but I think anywhere from the 103 to the 104, 103, 104, 105 is something that you should be looking for. And if you don't get that, I think you should be holding.
Agreed.
Yeah. Gator says he knows who we're talking about. Someone else commented about another player that I'm interested in, so I'm not going to say their name just yet because I don't want to influence the draft.
Gator's probably going to take the guy.
Zach, okay. I see your question up here. It says traded away 207, should be late first for next year. I'm confused. And a second next year for Cup. I'm so confused. Traded away at 207, should be late first. Is it the 207 and a late first and a second next year for Cup? I'm confused by the question. I'm sorry. Maybe comment again. It's a little bit difficult to understand exactly what's on both sides.
No, it's all good. Tommy Boy brings Broccoli on the other side on Twitch. And that's the guy who we're talking about. It's Jerome Ford, my RB2. I think Zach has him. I don't know where you have him, but he's my RB2, a guy that I absolutely love. He did go to Alabama and then transferred to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy. I think he could be extremely successful in the NFL. He is a do-it-all back. He can catch the ball. He is fast. He's a workhorse. I'm really interested to see where he's going to go. I hope he lands in probably one of the best landing spots ever. Obviously,
we'll
I'm biased, but we'll see.
Doesn't mean he will, just because we want him to.
Exactly.
Jerome Ford is my RB3. So I have him right behind Walker and Breece Hall. But I do think that here's how I've talked about the running backs before. Breece is in his own tier alone of anyone in the class, prospect wise. Then I think Kenneth Walker is in a tier of his own right below that. And then I think there's a massive drop off, in my opinion, between the running backs that fall beyond that. But for me, Jerome Ford is my RB3. He is my favorite of the rest as a prospect. But Alan had a question. He said the 108 or Juju. And I don't think Juju should cost that much. So I would take the 108 at this point.
We have a video coming out on Juju here in the next couple days or sometime at the end of this week. We just recorded. We do both have different opinions on that. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people are questioning, should I hold Juju? Should I sell him now? Should I, what's the deal? Just wait on that video. There's so many good videos that we talk about like now, and we wish we can release like 5 videos a day, but that would just be.
If we release 5 videos a day, we would
not.
We would not
we
be
wouldn't
okay.
have any, yeah, we wouldn't be okay.
Not liking Spiller is cute. I don't know what to say to that. It's okay to have difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Jasmine says...
It's cute to like Spiller.
Come on!
Yeah. Z, do you group Ford, Spiller, and White in that tier 3? Yeah, exactly. So for me, in that tier 3 of these running backs, for me, Ford, Spiller, White, Williams are kind of that tier 3. And then there's a tier after that where I have B-Rob and James Cook. So... yeah, that's how I would kind of tier them. Rice Cake Randy says 108 Juju shouldn't be valued any higher than a low end wide receiver 2. Yeah, I'm very interested for you guys to see this video that we release here soon on Juju. We literally just recorded it about an hour ago, so it'll be out this week. But 61 likes.
You like that? You like that?
Huge love. Wow, thanks guys. All right, so Mechie at the 3-3. I think that's good value for Mechie. Kyron Williams at the 3-4. I still like Kyron Williams, okay? I'm not ready to completely put him off my board because of the combine, but I think this is fantastic value. And if I have a third-round pick, I'm happy to take a shot on Kyron. The film speaks more to me than the combine. Now, the combine definitely makes him move down my rankings because I think he'll be down GM's boards, but I still think Kyron Williams is a great shot. I mean, taking a shot on Kyron in the 3rd or Spiller at the 2-3 or Zamir at the 2-4, like I would much rather, if I had those two options, if I had to pick one, choose Kyron in the 3rd and go wide receiver early 2nd or McBride or a quarterback. So you're on the board here, Badaki. What do you think?
I'm gonna go running back here, and this is what I wanted to do. This is why I didn't take a running back at the 2-5 because I had options in my mind. So I'm taking James Cook, a guy that I love, a guy that I believe in, Dalvin's little brother. A lot of talks that my beloved New York Football Giants like him, and I would love him to go to my team. Maybe not in a personal perspective. And does it look good or sound good for fantasy? Probably not, but maybe our team could look different by then. But I love James Cook. I love all that he can do. People see him as a 3rd down back. I do believe he can be an all down back, in my personal opinion. But hey, it just really depends on how you view him. But I love James Cook, especially at the 3-5. I think it's fantastic.
I agree. The 3-5 is great value. He had a great combine, and he was before the combine. He was going mid-2nd, late 2nd. So it's interesting that he's consistently dropping in these mocks now. His combine didn't hurt him. I don't view him as a 3-down back. That, but still, I think that's really good value there at the 3-5. Jalen Tolbert goes off the board. Love us some Jalen Tolbert there at the 3-6. I think that's good value. One World says, I'm so happy with the Spiller take. All of the film guys who still have him 1 and 2. Don't mention his bottom of the class bus score. and that annoys me. Yep, we've you know what's interesting is I feel like the community, when we first started the scouting process back in December, we expected to love Spiller. And through that process, we were like, what is wrong with us? We are not Isaiah Spiller people. And now it's become a little bit more even. I feel like people have kind of like come down a little bit, but there are still those people who are sold on him. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I think what's appealing with Spiller is how young he is. I think he's 20 years old currently. I don't think he turned 21 yet. And
well, both
there's still so much
and
life.
Spiller are 20 at the moment.
Yeah, so there's just so much life in him, and he got that work at Texas as well. So it's very interesting.
Okay, so I'm on the board here, and this is a really weird spot to be in because there's a few players that went off the board before me that I really would have loved. I would have felt great about drafting them here, like Wandale, like Jerome Ford, Kyron, James Cook, even Tolbert. But there's a player I still love here. I'm going to draft him, and I think you probably like him a little bit more than me, but I'm still going to take him here at the 3-7. I like his skill set. That is Khalil Shakira.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, baby, when you talk like that, I'll take you at the 3-7.
That's right. I love Shakira. I think this could be a steal of the draft in a fantasy perspective and in the real NFL draft. I think this guy can do the work. He's a speedster, and he can be an amazing wide receiver 2 or a fantastic wide receiver 1. Nah, jokes. It really just all depends how you see him. But I love Shakira for sure.
I think he can be a good slot wide receiver in the NFL for sure. Patrick 661 likes, but 69 people in here. Who's slacking? Hey, we're at 68 likes. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. James Cook. Paul says James Cook is going to be the best RB in the draft over Brees.
Talk it up, James. Talk it up. Yeah, talk it up over Brees. Brees ain't nothing.
Come on.
Jokes.
Jelani at the 3-8, Weidemeyer at the 3-9. I love the passion for James Cook though. I think you could honestly,
bro.
The thing is for me after Kyron or after Kenneth Walker, that third tier is so wide open, and I think you can put Cook anywhere you want in that third tier. Weidemeyer off the board, then Dameon Pierce at the 3-10. You're a Dameon Pierce fan.
Yeah, Dameon Pierce. I call him the bowling ball, the guy that can just punch it in. He's going to be that guy that takes touches away from these smaller backs that have the opportunity, because he's going to be the guy that takes away all the touchdowns. Your boy, whoever that running back is, he's going to take you all the way down to the 5-yard line, and then Dameon Pierce is going to come in and punch it in. That's what I like about Dameon Pierce. But like another thing that you always just say is like he's just weird. There's times where he looks hella slow, and times where he's like, damn.
There's times where he looks like the most stiff player you've ever seen, Dameon Pierce, and then there's other moments where he's literally running a route up the field, and I don't know why I'm not thinking of the name of the route for some reason. Anyway, and he looks like a very elusive player. So
talking about a go route?
No, I don't know why it's not. It's skipping my mind, but he's very, very interesting. Then we see Dulcich off the board as well as Pierre Strong at the 3-11. Pierre Strong is going to keep rising up the board, I think. Badaki.
Wheel route, they said. Yes, Pierre Strong.
Yes,
he keeps coming up.
My bad. Wheel route.
Very interesting to see where he's going to go. A guy that had a fantastic.
Yes, wheel route. Exactly. Like I said, there's times when we watch Dameon Pierce's film in some games, he looks extremely stiff, and I'm like, what is going on here? Other games where like he's running wheel routes and catching 70-yard touchdowns. Like it's just so interesting. CEH was supposed to be a bowling ball. Yeah, GG's to CEH.
GG's to CEH.
Gator says, with Juju and James Washington both gone and the quarterback situation, what are your thoughts on Claypool? I am hesitant on everything in Pittsburgh right now with Mitch Trubisky being the quarterback. That was not the ideal scenario, in my opinion, for Pittsburgh.
For me, with Claypool, I have hope. If Mr. Trubisky is not the answer,
too, for sure.
If he's not the answer, then they're either going to say, you know what, we're going to wait until 2023 to try to get one of these guys, or if somebody falls to them at the right position here, in the 2022 draft, maybe they'll take a chance there. But I'm okay with Mr. Trubisky being that interim quarterback for the next year, at least this year, and then hoping Claypool can show out, because I do believe he can spread the ball more than
my issue with Trubisky is like the mainstream media is telling us, well, he's improved. How?
Yeah, that's
he threw 8 pass attempts. He literally threw 8 pass attempts all last year. How is he improved? You know, he might be a more mature person, but how is he improved as a quarterback? He threw 8 pass attempts. Anyway, just a thought. So Pierre Strong goes at the 4-1. To be honest, he probably should have gone higher than that. Now that I really think about it, I would have considered Pierre Carson from the 3-7 onwards.
Yeah, I agree. I like Carson Strong. I was hoping he was going to fall to me. I would have been hella surprised if he fell to me at the 4-5. So, and then Hashawn Haskins, and then Isaiah Likely, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th tight end off the board. Very interesting.
Stephen Day says, I'm 100% on Ford, but I like Spiller much more than some Dynasty talking heads seem to. That's understandable. Mitchell says, you guys should do a poll about how many running backs San Francisco will draft this year. Yeah, we'll start the number at 12. You know, like, who knows how many? No, I'm kidding. They probably won't actually draft the running back this year. Hopefully.
Goes Calvin Austin.
What rookie draft pick would you give for him? Claypool. I would say a late first interests me, like the 112.
I like 112. I'll do 112. Yeah, 112, 201. I think Dotson will go in the first. Around there. Like, if I'm going based off this, would I want Claypool over Christian Watson? Yes. Would I want Claypool over Sky Moore, Jahan Dotson? I don't know.
Right.
You know, once again, that all depends on their landing spots as well. So it's definitely difficult. I'm on the board.
Just before you make your pick, John asked, has Mitch ever supported a wide receiver 1? And he has, to be fair, in Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson was a wide receiver 1 with Mitchell Trubisky as his quarterback. So he has done it before, but it doesn't mean that he's going to do it there. And it was very obvious that Allen Robinson was a wide receiver 1 there. So we'll see. You're on the board. Yeah. Calvin Austin before you, 4-4.
Gosh, I'm thinking now. I don't know who to take. I see one person I want to take here, but I think I want to take another wide receiver.
Here in the 4th round, you just take shots on guys that you love. I mean,
yeah,
there's not a wrong answer here. I mean, this is where if there's a name that no one is talking about in your communities or that you see anywhere, just take a shot on a player that you absolutely love if you believe in that player.
100%. I'll take him right now. Velus Jones Jr., guy that I absolutely love, 25-year-old rookie. Bulk it up. Another guy that I compare Velus Jones Jr.'s speed and body frame the same as Shakira.
Okay.
And I do believe he can do and produce the same thing as how we view Shakira. So that's why I love Velus Jones Jr. The only problem is that he's a 25-year-old rookie, and by the time his contract's up, he'll be, I guess, old in a fantasy perspective.
Right, yeah. All right, Dubs off the board. Again, take a shot on someone that you believe in. Hard thing for me is there's about 4 players I really still believe in that are on the board here that I love. And I'm struggling, man, because there's 2 running backs in particular I really love here. Okay. If I had to choose one, I'm going to go Tyler Beatty here at the 4-7. I know everyone knows what I'm going to say, but I have to say it.
Maybe we just don't say it. Let the community say
5 games this year, he rushed for 200 yards in 5 games versus the SEC. Okay, quite impressive. I'll take him there at the 4-7. Undersized, but let's hope he gets a roll. Oh, baby, when you talk like that. Shakira. Remember when someone came on this?
Sorry?
Remember when someone came on the stream and they're like, can you guys stop singing? It's awful. I'm going to turn the stream off. Yeah. We're like, okay. What were you going to say?
When we were recording, Jameis Crowder got signed to the Bills. Not that that was amazing or that's going to be amazing, but
it's interesting.
It is very interesting. I feel like a better quarterback now. He is a great slot wide receiver. Gabriel Davis on the outside.
Yeah, Crowder's gonna get a lot of work for sure.
Stephon Diggs on the other side.
Makes me feel like they're probably not gonna go wide receiver in the first though.
Maybe not.
By the way, something came out recently. NFC assistant GM on Kenny Pickett's pro day. He showed it all. Huge arm, athletic, quick strike ability. No
That's
way
right.
he gets out of the top 10. Maybe sooner. We love him. What? And we all know who that NFC rep is. It's definitely from the Panthers. All right,
No way,
Beatty,
that's
then
Falcons.
Chandler, Algier. I have no idea who Hayward is, but again, take a shot on someone. This is Connor Hayward from Michigan State. I don't know much about him. 6 foot 230, and he's a tight end. He's 6 foot 230. He's a tight end.
Is this updated? Like,
I'm not sure who that is.
I don't know.
Isaiah Pacheco will be a big sleeper. Yep, I know him. I believe he's out of Rutgers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robert, but he's very. Oh, you said Rutgers. Yep, he's a very interesting prospect. I definitely enjoyed watching his film. Zaquandre White off the board. Thank God my boy Zaquandre goes in the draft. 6 foot, 210 pounds. I think he actually weighed in a little bit more at that at his pro day, or at his combine, excuse me. But I love me some Zaquandre White. I think he's being underlooked because he doesn't have the stats in college, but his situation was never really ideal. Very, very intriguing player. And lateral quickness wise, one of the best in the class.
One world said, I'm curious if you think you can trade Crowder for a low second or high third, and if you should.
Are you a win now team? Hold.
If you're not,
yeah, get a second for him.
Yeah, why
Definitely.
not? See what you can get. I don't think maybe it'll be hard to try to trade for him right now. I think he can have one of those games where, you know how Emmanuel Sanders had like a little stretch of games.
Totally.
I feel maybe Jameson Crowder can do something like that, but it just
and then
really
you sell
depends.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you sell him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is the future.
Lord and Savior says, if they turn off the stream because of your singing, doesn't mean that they weren't fans anyway. I love that. Gremlin said he was considering Beatty. Has Haskins 22 touchdowns last year, sold him. Zach says Connor Hayward is Cameron's brother. Right, he's a playmaker. Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
Former Broncos DB Suka Carvin, something I don't know how to say his name, says Vic Fangio didn't like Drew Luck because he had a personality. Mental.
What does that even mean?
Well, so does Russ.
Everyone have a personality?
Yeah, what you mean? Russ has a personality. You don't like Russ?
All right, so let's talk about any players that maybe didn't go off the board that we think should be, at least considered for a draft. I was going to say Ely, so I'm glad he went. Kennedy Brooks out of Oklahoma. He's got the ideal size for a running back. He's very interesting to me. Keontae Ingram, kind of a similar player there from USC.
Walmart version of Nick Chubb, Karen Harris. Not joke.
Kevin Harris.
That was the funniest
Wide
thing ever.
receiver wise. Kyle Phillips. I'll keep mentioning his name. But I think outside of that,
Taquan Thornton didn't get taken.
Yeah, Taquan Thornton didn't go.
Yeah.
Rambo didn't go.
That's it. Really.
I think that's it. Yeah. Sincere McCormick, he's interesting as well. But yeah, I think you guys did really, really well in this mock. And Unlimited, Steven. Have you seen that video? That is like a very difficult video to watch, Badaki.
Nah, for what?
You haven't seen that Russell Wilson video?
Unlimited?
I'll actually try and find it right now. I'll show the entire chat.
I haven't seen Unlimited. No, I haven't.
Let me try and find it. It's quite difficult to watch. If we're talking about personality.
Hey guys, Russell here. Yes, the typical boring.
I probably
Russell,
can't hear it, but
robot
it's okay.
Russell.
I can unmute it.
Love to know. Real exciting. Yeah, I'm real exciting. But anyways, everybody has to have an alter ego, right? And I've been thinking about what my alter ego would be, and I think I have an alter ego. His name's Mr. Unlimited. Yeah, you gotta be unlimited. You gotta have a thought process of being unlimited. So when people ask you, what you're thinking about or what you want to do in life or where you want to go, you got to be unlimited. Tell them, I'm unlimited.
What is that?
So when they ask you certain questions like,
who brings you motivation, Russell?
Mr. Unlimited.
Who's your role model, Russell?
unlimited.
Who's your go-to person for advice, Russell?
They think Pete Carroll, they think this person, think that person. Love you, Pete, but it's Mr. Unlimited. Tell him. Hey guys,
I can't even
Russell
watch it
here.
without
Yes,
cringing.
the typical boring. Yes, Russell.
I can't even watch it without cringing.
Is that Sierra in the background? Like,
Must
just
be,
like,
must be. You know what's funny about it is like he was definitely practicing in his head, saying like, "Oh, this is gonna hit, bro. This is gonna hit. This is gonna be a thing."
That's funny.
Unlimited. What the hell is that?
Oh, that's funny, yo.
Yeah. So hey, some personalities
Cringe
coming
level
into Denver.
unlimited.
That's for damn sure. Yeah, it's
Bruh.
difficult to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. But hey, we're here.
Cringe level unlimited.
That should definitely be a team name, Unlimited. I'm pretty sure that was a team name at that time.
Well,
for sure.
if I have Russell Wilson in the Dynasty League, my team name is Mr. Unlimited.
That's funny though.
Dave says if I had him on my team, I'd cut him immediately. I love me some Russ. How good is the? Do you remember mid-season when he was injured and he's doing the huddles by himself, talking to people?
He's talking.
All right, you're gonna do a slant route. All right, you're gonna a go route. All right, boys, protect. All right, on 3, 1, 2, 3.
And then like when he throws the ball, when he throws the ball, he like does like the fist pump, like, oh, like good catch, you know, and he like starts running up the field.
Yeah, and he's like, yes, he got it.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Bro.
Yeah, hey, Jameis Winston's workout videos are pretty cringe as well. That's true. I don't know if we'd be able to find them, but Jameis Winston. Remember when he was like, "I'm working harder than Dak."
Yeah. 100%.
Remember that?
Hey,
I don't think we're gonna be able to find it, but this was last season.
Is that I know Dak here. I'm working harder than him.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's funny though.
actually, you know what I really want to watch just while we're on it?
Let's eat. That one's
Yeah.
funny. That's a W. Let's eat.
Yeah, we have to watch this for 1 second. I'm so sorry.
That's actually a classic. We say that amongst our friends all the time.
Let's go. That's a W. Let's eat one. Let's eat one. That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight? How many eat a W tonight? Come in, man.
You know, watch it one more time and just look at the teammates when he does it. Like no one is sure exactly what to say. Watch this.
I want everybody to look at me. I'm a pass
Like,
the
okay.
corner after I say one thing. Let's go.
Look at him right here. Like, what the hell is going on?
That's a W. How many people want to eat a W tonight? How many eat a W
Oh
tonight?
my gosh.
Come in, man.
Again, another thing that was probably rehearsed in a mirror, and was probably a lot cooler than someone thought before they said it. Anyway,
Bro. I wonder if they won that game.
yeah, probably not. They probably got destroyed. He probably threw like five interceptions as
message.
well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have some stuff coming up. So if you would like to know what is coming up from our channel, then stay tuned for a second. There are few spots left in our latest startup league. Okay, so if you want to be a part of our latest Dynasty Startup League, I think there's 5 spots left, Padaki. Is that right?
I think there is 5 spots left.
Okay.
For our Dynasty startup, if you want to be a part of that.
I pasted the link in the chat.
Yes. Really easy. Patreon.com/FantasylandFam. Go through there. You can play redraft or Dynasty startup with us. Our community is big right now. There's so many people that have joined, and we're excited about that. So come through. And it's not just playing Dynasty. You get a lot more. You get our rankings, our thought process, one-on-one chat, exclusive content. There's so much that's coming through in the season as well. So yeah.
There's our main channel. I just pasted it in the chat. If you like DFS or if you like redraft content, that will be popping off more towards the season. So go ahead and subscribe to us there if you haven't yet. Hey, 73 likes. Thank you guys so much for the likes. There's 48 people here watching still. If you haven't dropped a like,
You like that? You like
if you liked it, if you didn't like it, then don't drop the like. But if you like today's stream, drop a like, show us some love. We have a lot of content coming out this week. Let me just run you through what's coming out this week. I know we have a new Amari Cooper buy or sell. We have a Juju buy or sell. We made a video on if Deshaun Watson is a top 5 dynasty pick. We gave free agency winners and losers. James Conner buy or sell. Allen Robinson buy or sell. We're breaking down another one of your dynasty teams. We are grading dynasty football trades. It's all happening. Okay.
Yeah.
So lots of content this week. Is there anything that I'm missing, Badaki?
Anything that you're missing? No, with the content. No, we have a cool series. I think we're gonna release. I don't know if you want to talk about that one, the reality checks. I think that would be really interesting if everything goes well. In the next couple weeks, I think that's exciting.
Yeah.
JJ in the chat, if I pay 2 times, can I get in 2? Yeah, I was like, yeah, man.
We
Absolutely.
have people who have done that before. So essentially, if you wanted to get into 2, you can actually go on Patreon and you can click edit tier, and then you essentially just whatever your payment is right now, you would double that if you wanted to get into another league. So feel free to message us if you have any questions about that. But it's been awesome to see people support us over there, and it's been a huge blessing, absolutely huge. And are we missing anyone else? How about Mr. Unlimited?
Mr. Unlimited.
You know, who goes through the trade offers in your league? Mr. Unlimited. Yikes.
I'm trying to think of anything
I
else.
think that's it, though.
Yeah, it's good. And our Dynasty redraft channel should be popping off soon because redraft is fastly approaching. A lot of stuff's happening. That's about it.
That is about it. All right, guys. Tomorrow night, we have a Dynasty Startup Draft, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us then, and drop a like on your way out. And you know what? Do something nice for yourself. There's 50 people watching right now. Look at me.
Just something nice for yourself.
Let me change the screen right now. All right, I want you to look at me. Look at me in my eyes, okay? Do something nice for your family today. Do something nice for yourself. You want to eat Chick-fil-A today? You had it yesterday? I don't care. Go to Chick-fil-A, okay? Go get you number 1. Go get you a spicy chicken sandwich. Go get some nuggies if you want. Okay, whatever you need to do today, go do it for yourself. Get that Chick-fil-A sauce.
All I ask is for a sweet tea. Doesn't matter where
sweet
from.
Tea. Yep, anywhere.
That might be disgusting. I know somebody in college, Zach, that her friend came over and she bought a Chick-fil-A sandwich and she ate it.
You mean she brought it from
America to Sydney and she ate the Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Just eat it in America. It's okay.
She warmed it up. She warmed it up and ate it. That's funny.
Anyway, huge love, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night.